trees hold their histories in their canopy. The number of type of branch stubs, for example, whether they've been pruned professionally, the planting and formative pruning activities have taken place. And of course, you've also got lots of the biological activity that affects trees, tells you about the local urban ecology, and we've already heard about mistletoes, for example, today, and emerald and the polyphagous shothole borer. So you can look at those, and you can also look at things like the mulches and site management issues. And these all sort of tell you how important people value the root systems and the trees as a whole. Furthermore, if you're looking over the last few years, very often you can see in your park trees what's happening in terms of climate change, perhaps now, but more importantly, if you've been watching those trees over a number of decades, okay, sometimes many decades, you might be noticing things that are really important in terms of climate change in the future. And this is all to be seen just by having a look at the trees in a nearby local park. If you look at some of the factors that I wanted to consider, I broke them up into 4 sort of artificial groups. I just wanted to sort of put them into groups for my convenience. And I was thinking of in terms of biology and arboriculture, urban ecology, pest and diseases and tree management. And I then looked at a number of different subheadings. And I don't intend to talk about all of those subheadings in great detail, but I'd like to think that as you're looking at that, you're thinking to yourself, how useful would that little checklist be if I visited a local park? And what you can also do with that table is you can use an ordinal scale to put a score against them. And you know about ordinal scales, we use them a lot in biology and ecology, and they allow you to sort of form a framework, and then you can actually put numbers to things. Climate change considerations. So when you're looking at your trees, what's climate change doing now? You may not think it's doing anything, and it may not be. What might it do in the future? How are your trees coping? And if trees are doing really poorly, that's a heads up for you. You don't plant too many of them in future. Trees that are perhaps doing really well that you don't have many of, have a look around, look at other parks. Parks give us an insight to what trees growing outside their natural range might do. And of course, very often, and I think we'll hear more about this tomorrow, very often there's a single factor that may prevent trees growing naturally, whereas in a managed park, we can take care of those factors. We can grow all sorts of things outside their natural range with great success if we're inclined to expedite the use of the resources. So what I'd like to finish with is saying, have a look at these lists. They're in the paper that I've prepared, and not all of them are relevant for you, but if you pick 20 and you use the ordinal scale of 5, isn't that convenient? You've got a mark out of 100, and you can look at the tree, you can look at the park, and that gives you a chance to communicate how those trees and how that park is going in a very simple way. Some would say simplistic, and I wouldn't disagree. But boy, in terms of communicating with your local community and in terms of setting priorities, these little scales can be really, really handy. Anyone can use them, and even the local community